we are on the edge of mystery. We long for a life of new discovery. Focus our eyes on the journey, stepping into the unknown, waving goodbye to our worry, and we're ready to go. We're up. We're not ever slowing down. We're up. We're chasing down the dreams we found, over the rivers and mountains, deep in the heart of the sea. We know adventure is calling, so we run wild and free. Wild and free. Wild and free. Here we go. Dive into the great unknown. Has stories waiting to be told. The earth is bursting with color. Our hearts are open wide. The stars glow in wonder. We are so alive. We're up. We're not ever slowing down. We're up. We're chasing down the dreams we found, over the rivers and mountains, deep in the heart of the sea. We know adventure is calling, so we run wild and free. Wild and free. Focus our eyes on the journey, stepping into the unknown, waving goodbye to our worry, so we run wild and free. We're not ever slowing down. We're
Traditional Irish music is an oral tradition. It's a thriving tradition. Some of the selections we play are hundreds and thousands or more years old. You can go anywhere in Ireland and find a session. It's spread throughout the land. Depending on the musicians there, they might be influenced by regional styles. You might have a variety between music, singing and dancing, and the sean-nós singing, which is in the Irish language. There's a variety of instruments that are played in traditional music. It could be fiddle, accordion, banjo, uilleann pipes, concertina. Music has passed through people's minds, hands and hearts for generations. And I think some people who come into a session, whether they know it or not, on some level they're feeling this, it uplifts them. There's something powerful in that.
嗨，各位敬爱的合作伙伴，大家下午好！欢迎大家参加由 Mickey Travel 和爱尔兰旅游局共同举办的网络研讨会。我是主持人 Gary。我们本次研讨会的主题是发现爱尔兰。接着下来，我们会为大家讲述一下这次的研讨会流程。首先会由爱尔兰旅游局的 Iris 为我们介绍 然后之后呢，就会有产品介绍会，有5位景区代表和我们现场连线介绍，他们是来自比尔斯莱恩斯酒厂的 John， 基尔戴尔村的 Fiona， 吉尼斯啤酒厂阿尼，还有参观阿马斯的基连，格伦谢恩乡村农场的 James。然后接着下来呢，就还有我们第3部分的 Mickey 推介的特色行程。为了保证本次研讨会会顺利进行，如果有任何问题，请随时在 Q&A 处留言。之后我们会有问答问卷调查环节为你们解答。你也可以在聊天室打字聊天，随时和我们互动。最后，如果你需要本次的研讨会所展示的资料，你也可以联络我们的销售专员寻求帮助。好了，现在我们就把时间交给 Iris 为大家介绍，有请 Iris。
谢谢 Gary 各位小伙伴，大家下午好，我是奥兰旅游局的 Iris， 稍等我一下，我来分享屏幕。大家可以看到我的屏幕吗？再次欢迎大家来到 Mickey Travel 和爱尔兰旅游局联合为大家呈现的线上推介会。那今天的部分，刚才 Gary 也给大家介绍了。首先，我会给大家介绍爱尔兰岛作为一个目的地的一个旅游概况。接下来，我们今天也是非常荣幸的有请到了，大家能看到我的屏幕吗？谁能回复一下？然后我们今天也是特别荣幸有请到了来自爱尔兰岛的几位旅游服务产品服务供应商，他们有景点、有目的地，还有体验。那么最后呢，也会跟大家分享一些我们的工具包资源库，来帮助大家设计产品和宣传我们的这个爱尔兰岛。那首先画面中大家看到的就是爱尔兰岛的一个地图。爱尔兰是一个西欧的目的地，西临大西洋，东依爱尔兰海。在我们的这个地图上呢，分为了爱尔兰共和国和北爱尔兰。我们也看到它有不同的 logo 划分成为了不同的区域，也都有着各自非常独特的旅行体验。首先，爱尔兰共和国的首都都柏林位于我们爱尔兰岛的东部，这是一座历史人文之都，有着1000多年的历史。东南部的古老东部地区是爱尔兰5000年凯尔特文化历史所在，有着非常多的古迹，也包括有着非常不错的购物体验。今天我们稍后也会有景点代表来跟大家分享。爱尔兰岛的心脏地带就是我们看到的这颗绿色的心，它所代表的是爱尔兰的心之秘境。这里也是流淌着爱尔兰最长最美的香农河，有特别多的森林公园、绿地、水道，特别适合户外活动。那西面的这条野性大乡之路也是我们在市场上推广比较久的一条线路，它被誉为世界最美的海岸自驾线路之一，北起多尼哥，南至科克，绵延2500公里。再过来就是我们北面的北爱尔兰，它的首府是贝尔法斯特，北爱尔兰也被称为是一片巨人的土地。那对于一个岛屿来讲呢，它的这个交通连接是非常重要的。我们常用的4个国际机场分别是都柏林、科克、香农和贝尔法斯特。那还有一些国内机场和轮渡码头连接着爱尔兰岛和欧洲大陆以及世界各地的连接。有一点卡。那对于我们中国大陆的这个小伙伴来说呢，有一个好消息，就是海南航空他们重启了北京至都柏林的航线，从6月27号开始，每周2班。那么如果对这个航班感兴趣，也可以查询海南航空的官网或者是 APP 小程序。 那么说到签证的部分，爱尔兰也是和一些国家和地区进行签证互免。我们看到右面给大家列出来了日本、韩国、马来西亚、香港、澳门以及台湾。那么对于中国大陆的访客来说呢，需要根据您到访爱尔兰的一个出行目的来申请相应的 C 类短期签证。短期签证的类型包括有个人旅游、ADS、探亲访友以及商务会议等等。那这些所有的 C 类签证都是适用于英爱签证体系，也就是我们说的 BIVS。简单来说，大家可以把爱尔兰签证和英国签证理解成为是一个小生根。当我申请了爱尔兰的签证，我先前往爱尔兰，然后可以免签去到英国。那反之也是一样。那么近年来，我们也是越来越重视可持续发展旅游。一方面，我们希望把美丽的翡翠岛带给大家，分享给大家。同时，我们也倡议游客以对环境影响小的方式来进行多彩的这个翡翠岛假期。那么关于这一部分，今天时间有限，我就不再展开，也欢迎会后大家可以一起来探讨。接下来我有一个视频跟大家分享。
Fill your heart with Ireland. Discover more at ireland.com.
第一部分爱尔兰岛的概况呢就到此结束。接下来我为大家介绍爱尔兰旅游服务供应商的第一位代表，他是来自都柏林皮尔斯里昂酿酒厂的 John。Let's move on to John Kelly representing Pierce Lyons in Dublin. Hi John, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. And I'd like to first of all thank Tourism Ireland and Mickey Travel for inviting me to join this webinar here this morning. I'd like to say a big hello to all the Asians throughout Asia who are tuning in, and we look forward to welcoming you and your clients to our award-winning distillery over coming years. And if any of you happen to get to Ireland in the future, please just let you know there's a complimentary tour in the distillery waiting for you, and I'll be there to join you for a large whiskey at the bar later. So let me share my screen and get on with my presentation. So I'm just going to start with a few slides here on the story of the history of Irish whiskey. People don't realize that it was the Irish who invented whiskey about 1400 years ago. So we say any visit to Ireland would not be complete without some form of a distillery experience. Actually, Irish whiskey was once the most popular whiskey type in the world. And back in the year 1900, we were selling 12 million cases of Irish whiskey from 88 distilleries throughout the island of Ireland. But then we had problem years and the industry was on its knees by 1980, only 2 distilleries remaining, and case sales had dropped from 12 million to 350,000. So the industry was nearly wiped out. What were the problems caused by World War I and World War II? But it's probably the biggest knock to our industry was prohibition in America in 1919, which closed down our biggest export market. And then the War of Independence followed shortly that between Ireland and Britain. The economic war came with that, and tariffs were on all imports coming into Britain. So Irish whiskey was at a premium price in Britain and on limited availability. So during those years of prohibition, the 88 distilleries in Ireland depended on export markets, export sales, rather than domestic sales. So with no sales coming from our biggest market in America, a lot of those very fine distilleries closed down with no business. Then there was also, during prohibition, those bootleggers, those guys there in the bottom of the picture, making their own moonshine. And with Irish looking labels and Irish sounding names, and if you taste it, you'd never drink whiskey again. So that did untold damage to the good name Irish whiskey had. And then the right hand side, you see that boat with hundreds of GIs returning from Britain to America after the war, and it acquired a taste for Scotch whiskey while in Britain, and brought that acquired taste home with them. So some turning points. In 1966, there were 5 distilleries left. And they decided before they were wiped out to join together and form one strong company to attack world markets again. So the one on the left there, Bushmills, is up in Northern Ireland. The other 4 were in the south of Ireland, and they decided to build one modern complex down in Middleton, County Cork, close down the 4 smaller ones, build one big modern complex. So we had that one in Cork, and we had the other one up north. That was down to 2 distilleries. Then 21 years after that, the first independent distillery opened in Ireland again. The Cooley Distillery up near the border of Northern Ireland on the Cooley Peninsula. And then probably the biggest turning point in 1988, that company there, the Irish Distillers Group, with those 5 brands, they joined the giant French company Pernod Ricard, which probably was the biggest turning point for Irish whiskey. It opened up distribution networks for Irish whiskey throughout the world. And then the year after that, the Pernod Ricard sold that Tullamore Dew brand, the one in the middle, and the new owners started building a distillery back in Tullamore, where it was founded. So we're talking about 2010. We had seen the beginning of the renaissance of Irish whiskey. 1980, we had 2 distilleries. 30 years later, we had 4 distilleries. But look what happens 10 years after that. In 2020, we had 39 distilleries. And today, we're at almost 50. And the global sales of Irish whiskey in the end of 2021 had hit 14 million cases. So we're back better than we were in our heyday in 1900. Actually, the Irish Whiskey Association have recently claimed that Irish whiskey will once again outsell Scotch by 2030. And that brings me on to who I represent today. And this is a lovely award-winning distillery, boutique distillery in the centre of Dublin. Right across, actually, you're going to hear from Hanny later on the Guinness Storehouse. That's the Guinness Storehouse just across the road from us. But this distillery is very unique because, as you can see there, it's housed in a former church. That's our full complex there. On the left-hand side is the reception area where your clients will come in and meet their tour guide. We have public tours on the hour every hour from 11 in the morning till 5 in the evening for FITs, and then private groups are taken in on a half hour. So any group you have booked in through Mickey Travel in London will arrive on the half hour and meet their tour guide. All visits take 1 hour. So that's the reception area. Behind that is a little theatre where we show a 6-minute video with subtitles on the history of the area and the history of the church. And then inside the church itself, that is where the whiskey is made. That's where they'll see real people making real whiskey. And those 3 townhouses in the front house our tea rooms and our gin school. That's some FITs just waiting, entertaining themselves at touch screens at the reception area, waiting for their tour to start. That's a shot of our founder. Pierce Lyons was the founder of the distillery, a very successful man in brewing and distilling out in Kentucky in America. And that is him addressing one of the first tour groups when we opened in 2018. But he sadly died the year after the distillery opened, but he did see the project finished. The company is still controlled by his family. It's actually the only family owned distillery in Dublin. There we come to, like, I don't know about Asia, but here in Ireland, all old churches, there's normally a graveyard surrounds them. And so what we do, the oldest is one of the oldest inner city graveyards, the oldest tombstone dating back to 1624. So we start, before we go into the distillery itself, we do a little bit of storytelling just there at the door of the church about different people from different walks of life buried here over the years. It's light, entertaining. The blue doors open, and the first thing your guests see are those wonderful copper pot stills up where the altar once was. And you can see the story of distillation is told in the stained glass windows. But before they get to the pot stills, they see the raw ingredients they use. The barley, malted barley, unmalted barley. They can feel it, they can touch it, they can smell it, they can taste it if they wish. And then we come on to the mashing process, where we mix the barley with the water in a big vessel called a mash tun. And then we come on to fermentation. And these fermentation vessels here, a lot of distilleries, the fermentation vessels are very big. They're closed stainless steel tanks or wooden vats where you don't see anything. But these vats here, your clients can look into and see the fermenting liquid. After fermentation, we have a beer-like substance, about 9% alcohol by volume. And then that goes on for the heart of the process, distillation. This is where we remove the impurities from the spirit. And after distillation, we have a spirit at 80% alcohol by volume. So that obviously it would be too strong. You couldn't drink that. That's watered down to 40% alcohol by volume, put in wooden casks and put into dark and silent warehouses to mature for a number of years. Oh, this is another window at the back of the church. This was the former Church of St. James. And hundreds of years ago, when pilgrims from Ireland were visiting the tomb of St. James the Apostle in Santiago in Spain, they would all meet here at this church and head off on the pilgrimage together. So we dedicated a window at the back of the church to Santiago, the tomb of St. James the Apostle. But anyway, after we talk about distillation, we go on to the type of barrels we use. And but then the best part, they get to the bar and everybody receives a taste of whiskey. Not one whiskey, not two whiskeys, but three. So 3 whiskeys for everybody, 3 different aged Pierce whiskies. So this is always the best part. This is the part of the tour that people look forward to. A shopping area on the way out, selling a full range of whiskey, a large range of souvenir items. But all those shop units are on wheels. They can be pushed back to make space for events in the evening. Our tea rooms in one of those little red brick houses that I showed you earlier. That is our tea room is there in the bottom right-hand corner. And we booked the afternoon tea is booked with our premium whiskey tasting, the legacy tasting, where everybody gets to taste 5 different whiskies. As I said, we open for events in the evening for Mice Business. We can do 70 people on round tables and 110 on banquet style and trestles. And then on the right hand side there, you can see a nice drinks reception with finger food where we can hold 140 people. But the inside of the church with those lovely copper chandeliers that blend in with the copper pot stills creates a beautiful ambience for an event in the evening. The Halfpenny Gin School, that's where some of your clients come in and make their own bottle of gin with the help of one of our brand ambassadors. They start off with as they get there to hang their coat and get on their apron, put on their apron, they get a gin and tonic to calm down. Then they all stand behind one of those pot stills, 18 max in the group. And when they arrive, there's neutral grain spirit and juniper berries. Juniper berries is the biggest flavoring in gin. But there's a big wall with scores of botanicals to choose from, and everybody can choose extra flavorings to put into their own bottle of gin, into the pot still to make their own bottle of gin. Halfway through, we serve some nice food, some cured meats, cheeses, and breads, and a gin cocktail to wash it all down. So anyway, this session takes about 2 hours. Halfway after the nibbles, the food and the cocktail, the pot still here starts boiling up, just like your kettle at home. Steam goes out the top, and that steam is converted back into liquid as it goes down through the worm tub and comes out here at the bottom. Collected in a container, a 700 ml bottle filled, labeled, personalized labeled, and sealed. And the guests take that bottle of gin to take home with them. So Mickey Travel in London have details of that experience, which is definitely something very, very different. So that's me and Pearse Lyons Distillery. So as I say, look forward to welcoming your clients in coming years and to meet some of you yourselves when you get to Ireland. So at this stage, I'm going to sum up that whole presentation with a short video on Pearse Lyons Distillery Dublin. Thank you all very much.
Thanks so much, John, for sharing with us the history and knowledge of Irish whiskey, and of course, the master experience with Pearse Lyons. Now I'm translating a bit to our audience. 我给大家做一个简单的回顾。那么刚才 John 的介绍呢，分为了2部分。第一部分是关于 whisky 的一个历史。那么大家可能了解到 whisky 这个词是来源于爱尔兰语，意思是生命之水。爱尔兰也是发明 whisky 的一个发源地。早在1900年的时候，爱尔兰的 whisky 产业其实是非常的发达，当时岛上呢有88个酿酒厂，可谓盛况空前。但是这个数字到了1980年因为1战、2战，包括美国的一些限制，还有关税的影响，岛上仅剩为2家 whisky 酒厂。那么爱尔兰 whisky 迎来复兴呢，其实是在最近的10年间，从2010年岛上的4家酒厂发展壮大成为了2020年有39家酿酒厂。在2021年，我们有1400万箱的 whisky 也是销往了世界各地。那第二部分，我们重点介绍了位于都柏林自由区的皮尔斯里昂酿酒厂。那么这个whisky 之旅呢，它距离健力士啤酒展览馆也就是步行数分钟。它的最大的一个特色就在于酒厂的前身是一幢18世纪的教堂，圣詹姆斯教堂，一直到2017年才改建成为了现在大家看到这个酒厂的样子，对公众来开放。那么建筑群呢分为3部分：游客中心、酒厂以及茶室和金酒学校。在我们的游客中心呢，也是可以通过一些触屏和多媒体，大家可以了解到创始人和酒厂的故事。另外的话，我们在酒厂，也就是原来的这个教堂所在，会有这个酿酒师来向客人介绍我们从谷物到蒸馏到分割装桶成熟成为一瓶好的 whisky。那么现场我们看到有很多这种铜铸的这个炉子，它是铜炉蒸馏器，同时也有原教堂留下来的彩色玻璃。 那么在行程的临近尾声呢，每个客人都可以在现场品尝3杯不同的 whisky， 也有一些礼品店可以购买一些礼品的周边带回给家人和朋友们。那皮尔斯里昂酿酒厂还有一个茶室，它也可以作为行程中的一个特点来作为特色的下午茶安排，提供精美的糕点、茶饮和5种不同的 whisky。在金酒和杜松子酒学校呢，在这个金酒学校呢，客人可以根据专家的介绍来了解酿制金酒所需的这些植物，那么也是学习酿制属于你自己的金酒，在最后贴上标签带回家。那最后呢，皮尔斯里昂也是可以作为一个活动场地来承接各种企业会议和活动。那么具体的详情我们也可以去咨询 Mickey Travel 或者是 John 他本人。那接下来由我们欢迎来自可尔代尔购物村的代表 Chris Wu 为大家介绍爱尔兰不容错过的奢侈品购物体验。Let's welcome Chris Wu, who's representing Kildare Village, to share with us the must-do luxury shopping in Ireland. Pass on to you, Chris.
好，谢谢 Iris。Hello， 大家好，我是来自爱尔兰都柏林必打卡奢侈购物目的地的 Kildare 可尔代尔购物村的 Chris。可尔代尔购物村是比斯特系列的一员，公司呢由斯科特马尔金成立于1992年。我们的经营理念是世界上最好的设计师，最好的价格。这个系列旗下呢一共有现在目前有11个购物村 Fiona Next。 欧洲有9个购物村，中国有2个，明年呢将会在美国纽约长岛新开贝尔蒙德公园。虽然购物村分布在欧洲、中国和美国，但是每个都有自己独特的性格和风格。 Fiona Next, please. Can you hear me? 大家可以听得到我吗 ？Hello.
可以听到你 ，Chris。
Okay, next. Fiona, next page, please. 好的，那我们继续。我们都知道亚洲人都很喜欢购物，可尔代尔购物村就是那个令人心动的地方。可尔代尔于2006年开业，经过几次扩建，它现在已经是系列当中第3大的购物村，拥有多达130家的精品店。可尔代尔购物村的地理位置位于都柏林机场1小时的车程，位于都柏林市中心45分钟。它就在 N7 公路的旁边。N7 公路是爱尔兰第2繁忙的公路，连接着都柏林、科克、利姆里克和旅游热点，比如说凯秀宫、怀里凯线、漠河悬崖等等。Fiona, we are page 5, please. Thank you. 可尔代尔购物村就在可尔代尔镇的边上。可尔代尔镇是爱尔兰最具有历史意义的城镇之一，圆形的塔和大教堂可以追溯到6世纪和11世纪，与爱尔兰的女性国家圣人圣布里基特有着密切的联系。
Chris, if you
Next,
wish,
please.
we can play your presentation for you here, and then you can talk. Yeah, because it looks like in China they cannot do the presentations.
Actually, Fiona do the presentation now. I'm now on the page 7.
Okay, cool.
Oh no, page 6. Sorry, page 6. Thank you. 可尔代尔位于纯种马之乡的中心，因为 Kildare 郡有着悠久的丰富的历史。原来呢，它就是一个和赛马、养马非常有关的一个地点。实际上，在基尔代尔方圆几英里的范围内，有着爱尔兰国家马场和许多著名的种马场和驯马公司，他们为多项比赛提供马匹，产生了许多冠军马。Next to page 7, please. 基尔代尔是一个历史悠久的小城镇，附近有许多旅游景点和值得体验的项目，包括世界著名的爱尔兰国家马场和可以追溯到20世纪的日本花园，高尔夫酒店如 K Club、蓝道和绿道，历史悠久的房屋和城堡。大家都熟知的世界著名的吉尼斯黑啤酒创始人亚瑟·吉尼斯就出生在 Kildare。他建立的第一家黑啤酒厂至今还矗立在这里，也是最热门的旅游观光体验项目之一。Page 8, please. Next, yeah. 现在咱们就来聊聊购物吧。科尔代尔提供优质的购物体验和露天环境，结合了5星级的客户服务和奢侈品牌。我们拥有各种各样的奢侈品和设计师品牌，包括时尚、配饰、美容和家居用品，以及美食餐饮的选择。Page 9, please. 这是可尔代尔购物村的平面图，大家可以看到，其实很容易逛的，不会迷路，就是一条路，然后其实是2条小路，旁边都是精品店。Next, please. 大家快来看看有没有自己喜欢和熟悉的牌子。可尔代尔有大家众所周知的欧洲、英国乃至于全球知名的品牌，比如 Fila、Burberry、Prada、Moncler、Sandra、Maggi、Ted Baker 等等。当然啦，我们也有爱尔兰本土品牌大家可以看到鞋字体的就鞋字体的那些都是爱尔兰的本土品牌。好，这里呢我要介绍一个这个牌子呢叫 Avoca， 它是去年才新进入的，它呢是一个这是 Irish brand 的第一个。Avoca 是去年才新进驻我们购物村，之前呢它是在市中心都是有店的。它是一家标志性的爱尔兰本土特产店，卖羊毛羊绒制品带着艳丽民族色彩的厚薄羊毛毯、毛衣、帽子等等都特别好用，必须强推。这个牌子的质量和出品相当稳定，非常可以代表爱尔兰的特色，真的是伴手礼的不二之选。它的历史呢可以追溯到1723年，起源于都柏林南部威克洛郡的一个小村庄。欧洲的品牌大家都比较熟悉了哈，这里也列出了一些大家平时比较少见的牌子，千万不要错过。通常呢，品味独特的好货都会出自在这些小众品牌里面。Next, please. 这里给大家展示了一下精品购物店里面的实拍，像这一家呢就是刚才提到的那家 Avoca， 就是爱尔兰的本土品牌。这精品店呢长的样子是跟市区精品店是一模一样的。Next, please. 它的设计，精品店的设计跟市区的精品店设计是差不多的。Next, please. 大家可以实地感受一下，这都是实景拍摄。好，还有一些牌子呢是像 Burberry， 像这些牌子都是英国萨默特郡特别的一个传统品牌，以高质量的手袋、包包闻名。还有个牌子呢叫 John of Eglin， 是非常传统的羊绒制品品牌，已经经营了225年。它还与爱马仕、香奈儿、Burberry 等品牌合作过。哎呀，我们逛了那么一大圈，肚子饿了。在 Kildare 有很多的餐馆、咖啡馆可以供您歇息，他们呢都是都柏林人非常喜欢的餐厅，市区有店。现在也入驻了 Kildare。DNC 是意大利菜 ，Saba 是东南亚菜，可以抚慰一下中国胃。Next, please. 喜欢有机食品的小伙伴们有福了，在 Subcourt 提供当地农场采购的新鲜时令菜，肯定可以俘获您的芳心。Murphy's 冰淇淋来自爱尔兰西南部的 Co-Kerry， 他们使用当地的天然原料，来自 Kerry 奶牛的稀有牛奶和附近农场的鸡蛋来制作他们的冰淇淋。他们还在自己的产品中加入了丁格尔海盐、爱尔兰 whisky 和黑面包等等当地风味。1932年 Butler Chocolate 在都柏林成立，它是一家小型的家族企业， 已经成为爱尔兰最受欢迎和知名的巧克力品牌之一。Next, please. 好，5星级的购物体验呢，归纳一下，我们有免税购物、免提购物、中文服务、支付宝微信支付、里程积分、独家折扣和免费 WiFi。这里呢，我要敲一下小黑板，小贴士来了。我们的卖点1是所有的货品都来自市区精品店正品下线的当季或过季款。卖点2可以退税，退税的额度非常高，非常震惊，高达23%，起退额仅为75欧。这个意思呢，是在同一个店铺里买满75欧元才有资格退税。邻居英国由于脱欧呢，早已经不能退税了，所以爱尔兰购物的优势凸显。卖点3，免提服务全免费。这个服务呢，在其他的购物村呢是收费项目，通常在25英镑或者25欧元每位左右。在可尔代尔购物村是全免费的。解放双手的实惠贴心大福利必须 get， 不得不说，可尔代尔最懂你。Next, please. 公寓呢，是我们为 VIP 客人提供的贵宾休息室，提供茶点、饮料。这项服务需要提前预约。Next, please. 私人导购服务享有专门的礼遇和私人试衣的房间、套房。为了为客人提供独有的设计风格和建议，也需要提前预定。Next, please. 关于爱尔兰和中国之间的直航，刚刚已经听说有好消息，海南航空已经开通了从都柏林到北京的直航。除了主要的航司以外，我们也跟全球其他的礼宾和财务合作伙伴合作，在您购物结束的时候，一定要去到游客服务中心，把您的购物金额累加起来，直接兑换成里程积分，或者是您持有会员的积分，让买福利加倍。好的，最后我要以一段视频结束今天的分享。我期待将来在 Kildare 在可尔代尔购物村欢迎您和您的客人。谢谢大家 ，Thank you very much. Video please.
Chris 好，感谢我们的 Chris 给大家带来可尔代尔村的这个购物体验，也是有一些课代表划重点、奢侈品购物、独家折扣、退税以及5星级服务。那接下来呢，我们就把时间交给来自 Diageo 集团的 Henny。Please allow me to introduce Henny. She will share with us the iconic experience with Diageo in Ireland. Morning, Henny.
Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon for some of you who are joining in from the other side of the world. Let me just share my screen there, and we'll jump in. Perfect. So first of all, thank you Tourism Ireland and Mickey Travel for this fantastic opportunity to showcase our Irish brand homes, Diageo Irish brand homes as we call them. So my name is Hanny. I look after the B2B sales for all of these fantastic visitor attractions. And one of the biggest ones, and the one that you probably, most of you well know, is the Guinness Storehouse. And Guinness Storehouse is Ireland's #1 visitor attraction. It's a 7-story visitor attraction that tells the story of Ireland's most iconic drink, the black stuff, as we call it, and really brings to life the heritage of Guinness from the early days when Arthur Guinness signed a lease for 9,000 years in 1759, and takes you through a journey through sight, sound, and taste And you go through the 7 floors, and you get to learn about the ingredients and stepping back into history and looking at archives as well, and looking at advertising, which is one of my favorite parts of the journey. But to give you a feel for the venue and for the experience, I asked Mickey Travel to kindly play the video of the Guinness Storehouse. So we offer a range of experiences and tiered experiences at the Guinness Storehouse. So your visit could be guided or self-guided. We actually offer audio guides for self-guided tours, complimentary for group bookings. And your visit generally takes about an hour and a half, but then you have a choice to upgrade to further experiences as well. So there is the academy experience where you get to learn how to put a perfect pint of Guinness, or the stouty experience where we take a picture of you and use malt extract to print the image on top of the pint. So both of those would be 15 minutes add-on to the actual experience. And then you also have an option to upgrade to something a little bit more special, the connoisseur experience, that takes place in a private bar space in a small group setting. And that's an hour and a half on top of your visit. So you get to go through all of the different Guinness beers that were created through the centuries, and do a bit of tasting and really just have fun in a small group setting and learn a bit more, I suppose, about the family and about the recipes and the different kind of beers. And then we're going to leave the Guinness Storehouse behind for a little bit because we only have 10 minutes to run through all these fantastic attractions, and walk across the road to Roe & Co Distillery, which is our Irish whiskey distillery. And you see it's in a beautiful building. It's housed in the former power station for Guinness. So all the power for Guinness production was supplied from this building back in its golden age. And talking about a golden age and a golden era, Joan has given you a lot of information on Irish whiskey. And at its time, George Roe was one of the largest exporter of Irish whiskey. George Roe had his distillery just a few doors down from where we are today. And he helped to build that golden era of Irish whiskey in the 19th century. So Roe and Guinness were two very powerful names in the brewing and distilling industry in the Liberties, in this neighborhood, what we call in Dublin. And really, we offer very unique Irish whiskey experiences in our distillery. So it is a working distillery. We've been distilling here since 2017, and we opened the visitor attraction in 2019. And we offer two different experiences, the flavors and the blending experience. And both are very immersive, fully guided experiences. You get to blend with whiskey, you get to shake whiskey cocktails. And really what we focus on is small groups here. So we only really can accommodate groups up to 32 people. And it's very much suitable for FITs as well. We offer book out options for small group settings as well. So I'll kindly ask Mickey Travel just to show the video of what our experiences entail at Row & Co. So now we're going to jump in our car and drive about an hour and 20 minutes outside of Dublin to arrive to the beautiful medieval town of Kilkenny. And this is where our third attraction is located, the Smithwick's Experience in the heart of Kilkenny. So there is no better place to start experiencing Ireland's ancient East than from this beautiful medieval town. And the Smithwick's Experience is located on the main street, so about 10 minutes from Kilkenny Castle, which is also a very popular attraction when you're visiting the town. And the town itself is a very popular day trip destination from Dublin, or often visitors stop here on their way down to the south of Ireland. So if they go in down to Cork or Killarney, it's a popular destination kind of right in the middle between Dublin and the south. So Smithwick's Experience tells the story of 300 years of innovation and the family, the Smithwick's family, and to be perfectly giving you the full picture, there's so much more that's involved in this tour as well, because there has been a beer brewed in Kilkenny from the 1200s by the monks. So the story actually starts from the monks and follows the story of brewing in the area all the way through the story of that 300 years of innovation and of the very popular Irish Red Ale. So these are also guided tours, very similarly to Row & Co, very interactive in a small group setting. We can accommodate up to 20 people, but we can also do simultaneous tours. So you can do coach as well to up to 60 people. And then our local guides would be your tour guides for this experience as well. And some of them have family members who worked in the brewery throughout the years. So they know Kilkenny and they know Smithwick's and the Smithwick's story really, really well. So just to give you a feel, and this is my last video for today, I promise, if Mickey Travel could play the video from Smithwick's as well, please. And this is really an overview, I suppose, of our Irish brand homes in a nutshell. So thank you very much. Thank you for your time. And I very much hope to see you in Dublin and in Kilkenny in the very near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Hani, for your great presentation. 那我也给大家做一个简短的回顾。大家可能了解Diageo集团，它是世界最大的酒业集团。那么在爱尔兰呢，有4个与Diageo相关的这个旅游体验，分别是 Guinness Storehouse 健力士啤酒展览馆、Royal Co Distillery 也是 Royal Co 的这个 whisky 酒厂、Smith Wickers Experience 它是位于基尔肯尼的一个爱尔兰红啤体验，以及 Open Gate Brewery。那么今天主要是介绍了前面3个。风靡世界的健力士黑啤呢，就是发源地就在于都柏林市中心的圣詹姆斯门酒厂。那现在这里是一座7层楼的健力士啤酒展览馆。来到这里呢，客人将可以了解到黑啤它是如何酿制的，并且来到7楼的重力酒吧去品尝一杯，还可以俯瞰都柏林的天际线。那么因为都柏林是一个不大的城市，然后它的建筑也不是很高，所以在这里就可以看到非常美的都柏林的全景。那么今天也介绍到他们有一些升级的体验，比如说健力士学院，那么也会教客人如何来倒上一品脱完美的健力士黑啤，还有它的 Stouty 体验，就是可以在你的这个黑啤的泡沫上去打印你手机里的照片。那么还有一些就是 Connoisseur 它的品鉴师体验，是可以有工作人员陪同，并且给你讲解不同健力士黑啤它的香味、风味的这些细微的差别。那么在健力士啤酒展览馆的街对面呢，就是我们的 Royal Co， 它也是都柏林比较新的一个 whisky 酒的一个体验之旅。那这个景点是2017年建成，2019年正式对游客开放的。那在这个旅途当中，有2种独特的这个体验来供客人享受，一个是叫 blending 调和体验，也是揭秘了 Royal Co 它的招牌 whisky 是如何从蒸馏、成熟到混合。那么客人也有机会参与最后混合这一个步骤。还有一个是 flavors， 我们称为鸡尾酒体验。那么在这个过程中，工作人员也会带你去认识 whisky 酒里边的这种不同的味道，根据你的口味来调配一杯独特的 whisky 鸡尾酒。那这个体验也是特别推荐 FIT 客人和32人以下的团组。那最后我们就来到了距离都柏林20分钟车程的基尔肯尼，这是爱尔兰古老东部地区的一座中世纪小镇，有着很多年的历史。那史密斯威克这个酿酒厂呢，就位于我们的基尔肯尼镇。很多的客人会选择从都柏林出发进行1日游，他们就会在基尔肯尼做停留。那么我们的这个史密斯威克是不容错过的一个红啤体验，1小时的参观过程中也是有导游讲解，适合20人以下的团组。那除此之外，基尔肯尼我们刚才也介绍到了有非常著名的基尔肯尼城堡，它也是被誉为了世界最美的10大城堡之一，所以完全可以在这里的行程上做一些功夫。好的，那么接下来呢，我们将有2位来自北爱尔兰的代表。首先是有请来自阿马郡的 Gillian。 We are going to travel around Northern Ireland. Let me introduce you Gillian from Visit Armagh.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be able to present to you here this morning from the beautiful city of Armagh. The sun's shining here and sure, everything looks just perfect. What I want to do is take you on a whistle-stop tour of the city and its borough. And we have a number of very grand titles for the area, one of them being the Christian capital of Ireland. So this is the home of St. Patrick. Armagh is in Northern Ireland. We are about 45 minutes from Belfast and about an hour and 20 minutes from Dublin Airport. We're very accessible for anyone who wants to travel throughout Northern Ireland. So we're roughly about an hour and a half from the Giant's Causeway, 2 hours from Derry City, and about an hour from beautiful County Fermanagh and Enniskillen. So very well located. I'm just going to highlight a few of the locations that we have, which would be perfect for visits by your clients. And one of those is the Navan Centre and Fort. This is one of Ireland's most important archaeological sites. So this is the Northern Ireland equivalent of Newgrange. It's the ancient capital of Ulster and was home to the High Kings of Ireland. So this fort, which you can see in the image here, is on the tentative list for UNESCO World Heritage status. So we're talking about Celtic Ireland, and it's a very complex history. And the best way for your clients to understand that history is actually to take one of our guided tours of the Navan Centre with one of our amazing guides. And they allow you to really follow in the footsteps of the kings and queens and warriors who would have lived here. There are great stories told about the Navan Centre and Fort, myths and legends, and they are all collected together in a series of stories called the Ulster Cycle. Our tour guides will narrate these to you beautifully and get you involved in what those stories was about. But most importantly, you'll then move on to meet some of the Celtic characters who live in this amazing Iron Age dwelling. They will talk to you about how their dwelling is made. They'll welcome you into their clan with some herbal tea and Celtic bread. And then they'll actually show you what life was like over 2,000 years ago. You know, they'll be cooking, they'll be weaving, they'll be preparing to go to war, and they'll get you involved in all of those activities. And indeed, you might actually become a great warrior for the day. Now, I can tell you about this until the cows come home, but I think it's best if you maybe have a little look on the video, please, if you could play that for me now. That just gives you a quick idea about Navan Fort itself. So we'll move on now, and I want to concentrate on one of our other main products, and that is our apple. We are known as the Orchard of Ireland. We grow 4,000 acres of apple. Our most important apple is the Armagh Bramley, and it has protected geographical indication. So that elevates our apple to the same level as the Champagne grape, or indeed Italian Armagh ham. Why do apples grow so well in Armagh? Well, I've alluded to the fact that the sun is shining here today. We also get quite a bit of rain, and apples are you know, quite a high content of water. We have our very own microclimate, so there is a belt of land that runs through the area that is about 2 degrees warmer than the rest of the country. So perfect growing conditions for the apple. We work with a number of cideries, but I want to introduce you to one in particular, and it is Long Meadow Cider. And in the image here, you can see the very photographic McKeever family. And believe me, the lady in the middle of the screen is definitely the boss in that house, and that's Catherine McKeever. They are 3rd generation apple growers, and the McKeevers invite you into their orchard. You get to meet the family. You learn about what is going on that day on the farm. So it really is stepping into a day in the life of the McKeever family farm. You'll get to learn about how the orchard is planted, how the apples are grown. You'll take a walk down through the orchards, and in the springtime it's particularly beautiful because the trees are absolutely laden with apple blossom, and there's a faint sweet smell of the apple blossom on the trees. And as the summer progresses, you can see the fruit forming and the apples getting bigger, and the smell of the apples on the trees is amazing. And then as we go into September time, the McKeevers will have started to harvest the apples. So really depending on what time of year your clients visit the farm, they'll always see something different. You get to see the cold storage facility, which is really big, just a massively big fridge. So when they harvest apples in September, they go straight into cold storage. So you can visit the farm maybe the following June, put your hand into the cold storage fridge, pull out an apple, and you're able to bite into that apple and it tastes as if it was picked off the tree yesterday. So they grow hundreds of acres of apples, the McKeevers themselves. So they'll show you how they produce the most amazing products from them. So they'll press the apples, they'll blend the apples, and they'll make from that ciders, apple juice, and apple cider vinegar. And they'll talk to you about each of those products, and obviously, of course, of the health benefits of cider apple vinegar. And I know Timoni is a great convert to that product in the morning times. So excuse the pun, but the core element of your tour is tour and tasting, but you can add to what you do. So maybe you might like to enjoy some tea or coffee with a lovely slice of Catherine's homemade apple pie. And you can see her here preparing some of her apple pies, and definitely mouth-watering and well worth trying. Or new for this year, you can try Granny's traditional soda bread experience. Soda bread in Ireland was, a staple of every household. It filled people up, go out and work on the farms. It was easy made. It was quick and tasty. And Catherine's granny particularly made a lot of soda bread because they had a huge family. And Catherine will tell the story of how she has all these fond memories of eating soda bread. She'll show you how the bread is made, and then she'll actually cook soda bread for you on her granny's very own griddle, and you can see it here on the screen. You can smell the bread cooking in the air, and then she will take it off the griddle and cut it hot, and then she will slather it with homemade butter, and of course the butter melts on the hot soda bread, and she passes that round for you to enjoy. And as you're savouring your soda bread, you're looking out of a glass fronted barn across the orchards. It's a truly amazing experience. Now we hope that for 2025, that experience, you will be actually able to cook on your own griddle as well. So at the moment it's a demonstration with plans to have it as a cookery school type thing. You can see her here in full flight, so she really engages the audience and gets them involved in the experience. I have a short video here of Longmeadow just to give you a better idea of what it's about. I'll just share the screen again with you, and I want to tell you just about some of the other things that we have available in the area. I'm always here to help you. I know there's a lot in this particular area and it may seem a wee bit overwhelming, but I will work with you to create the most perfect itinerary for your client. And when we have agreed that itinerary, I will then execute those bookings on your behalf. So we're here to help you every step of the way. So some other things you might like to add to your visit. We have an observatory and planetarium. Our observatory is the oldest in the UK and Ireland, and you take a tour there with one of the astronomers. It's a truly fascinating experience. In the image here, you can see Armagh Robinson Library. The Robinson Library has 35,000 rare books and manuscripts dating from the 18th century and before. And they'll actually make the tour bespoke to your client. So for example, if your client is a doctor or a dentist, you tell us in advance, we're able to bring out 18th century material on dentistry or medicine for them to have a look around. or a look through, I should say. One of their prized possessions is the fact that they have the original copy of Gulliver's Travels with Jonathan Swift's handwritten amendments, and your clients are welcome to have a look at that. Of course, we all know the only country properly named in Gulliver's Travels is Japan. We have 2 cathedrals. They are both dedicated to St. Patrick, and I would highly recommend you have a look at those. Picking out some of the highlights from this list of activities is, of course, the Game of Thrones studio tour in Banbridge. This is also in the Visit Armagh area, and it is the world's first and only studio tour, a deep dive into everything connected to Game of Thrones. So the props, the visuals, the weaponry, and the costumes, the leading characters, it's all there. Truly a memorable experience when in Ireland. And you can't come to Ireland without trying something traditional. And what's more traditional than Gaelic football and hurling? So we invite you into our local stadium. It's about an 18,500 seat stadium. You get to meet a player. He takes you on a tour of the stadium, and you'll eventually end up in the changing room. In the changing room, he will tell you what happens when they're on match day. He will then tell you that you are going to become the team for that day. He brings you out onto the pitch, and when you're on the pitch, he teaches you the very basics of football and hurling, and then lets you have a go. Great crack. Accommodation-wise, we have a range of accommodation to suit both group and FIT business. So in the image here, we have Armagh City Hotel. Armagh City Hotel is in the city centre. Very well located, easily accessible, 4-star property, and has 95 bedrooms, increasing to 105 by the end of the summer. That has been a really quick snapshot of everything that there is to do and see in the area, but I would like you to stay in touch. So when you get the presentation, there's a QR code there which will bring you direct to my contact details. We also have a QR code which takes you to our website, and one which will bring you to our main destination brochure. But always remember that we're here to help. You just need to drop an email. It's been a pleasure presenting to you this morning, and thank you for your time, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you, Gillian, for showcase so many amazing experience people can expect in Armagh. 那么接下来我也是给大家做一个简短的回顾。阿玛郡呢是我们北爱尔兰一个非常美丽的目的地，这里有丰富的乔治亚的这种建筑遗迹、凯尔特文化，更是爱尔兰岛的守护神圣帕特里克的故乡。那它的地理位置呢，距离贝尔法斯特机场45分钟车程，距离都柏林机场1小时20分钟车程。刚才介绍的第一个主要景点是纳文堡垒，这是爱尔兰最重要的考古遗址，也是阿尔斯特时期当时爱尔兰古代的君王所在。目前这个景点也是在争取入选 UNESCO 的世界遗产名录。那来到这里呢，导游会为你讲解当时国王王后在这里生活的轨迹，包括你也会了解到阿尔斯特时期流传的一些神话传说。客人也是身临其境，仿佛置身2000年前的铁器时代，了解那个时候的建筑、住宅、生活方式、烹饪饮食。那么第二个主要的景点是果园体验。阿尔玛郡有一片4000英亩的苹果园，它也是获得了 PGI 地理保护标识。那么如果有人问为什么阿玛的苹果特别好吃，那 Gillian 告诉我们是因为这里独特的气候。那么据说阿玛的温度要比爱尔兰岛的其他地方要高2度。苹果园呢也是出产一种长草店的苹果酒。客人来到这个3代传承的果农场呢，它的农场主也会带领大家去了解苹果的种植、冷藏、它的生长周期，包括它们是如何酿制非常受欢迎的苹果酒和苹果醋。那么今年呢，还新推出了一个新的祖母苏打面包的体验。那苏打面包也是爱尔兰人家家户户都会去烘焙的这样一个非常家常的这个点心。那么在这个体验当中，我们的 Catherine 也是会跟大家分享她的祖母是如何来做祖母面包。那么大家也有机会来品尝当地传统的这个饮食。那么除此之外，阿玛还有哪些景点可以来定制行程呢？也是给到大家一些小小的启发。比如说阿玛天文台，它是英国和爱尔兰历史最悠久的天文台，并仍在投入使用。比如说我们的罗宾逊图书馆，这里有非常多珍贵的书籍，其中最著名的就是乔纳森·斯威夫特的《格列佛游记》。 那阿玛也被称为教堂之都，这里有圣帕特里克教堂、圣帕特里克天主大教堂，它也是为了纪念爱尔兰岛的守护神圣人圣帕特里克而设立的。除此之外，阿玛还有世界上唯一的，也是第一家权力的游戏影视主题乐园。那爱尔兰的这个盖尔体验，就是我们的盖尔足球和曲棍球，也是非常受欢迎的一个传统体育项目。客人来到这里呢，也是可以在体育场去观看赛事，和球员见面，参与互动。最后还有我们的布朗洛之家，它是二战的时候美军总部所在。那当然，现在这里呢是提供一些餐食服务，包括早餐、司康饼、午餐、下午茶等等。那最后Gillian也是跟大家分享，阿玛君也是提供了各种不同类型和预算的这个酒店来符合大家的需求。那最后呢，让我们欢迎今天最后一位嘉宾，来自格伦谢恩农场的 James Z。Now I'll introduce you James Z. He will bringing us with live show from Glen Shane Country Farm.
Thank you, Iris. So, hello everyone, and thank you very much for taking time to join us on this call today. I really appreciate this opportunity to share with you some of the details of my experience visitor attraction. So again, thanks very much to Mickey Travel and Tourism Ireland for your help in organising this call. Well, firstly, as I say to anyone who comes to visit us on the farm, Giadich Agus Volcha Go Farm Tua Glan Shean is Misha Shimas Mahaluan, which means hello and welcome to Glen Shane Country Farm. My name's James McCloy, and I am a fourth generation shepherd farmer, and I own and run my family hill farm. We are based high up in the beautiful Spurn Mountains, taking in panoramic views right across Northern Ireland, as you can see just behind me there. We are approximately 45 minutes from Derry, 50 minutes from Belfast, and 55 minutes from the Giant's Causeway. And we're only 1 mile off the main route when travelling from Belfast to Derry, making us very quickly and easily located. So what is Glen Shane Country Farm? This is a new visitor attraction officially launched alongside the Embrace the Giant Spirit unveiling at the London World Travel Market in 2019. And my aim is to work mainly business to business. People get the opportunity to pre-book and join me in my private immersive experience and watching my sheepdogs demonstrating their skills, gathering up the sheep as they listen to my commands, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I always say, get the sheep into the pen beside the visitor so they can reach over and pet them. Our main goal here is to provide quality lasting memories, have a bit of crack, a bit of fun with our visitors, give them something to really remember. As one of Tourism Northern Ireland's original chosen demonstrators, I'm proud to be an ambassador for the new experience brand, Embrace the Giant Spirit. I believe I've restructured a new way of farming life for my family, and I want to share this with visitors from around the world, stretching their imagination while this quality end-to-end experience helps sustainability within our landscape and indeed our own farm. It is this passion for my heritage and the place that I am very proud to call home that is the key with me connecting with these visitors, giving them that feeling of a warm embrace, if you like. It's an opportunity for them to engage with me and experience my authentic working farm and discover more about my history and culture. So to help visualize the structure of this 1 hour Sheepdogs at Work experience, the first part of it, after welcoming the visitors onto the farm, I explain to them exactly where they're standing within Northern Ireland. I take them on a journey pointing out Lough Neagh, surrounding distant mountains, and of course Slemish, where St. Patrick would have shepherded. Even after 1500 years of technology and farming evolution, we as shepherds still carry on certain traditions and heritage as he would have did back then. The guests can see all the sheepdogs' birth certificates and family generation pedigrees on the wall alongside their photo and their name, showing that they also come from a long line of workers. After I give an insight to my dogs and the personalities, people really get so involved and so intrigued when they see these personalities actually shining through. Like Moss, for example, I describe him as a typical male. You have to tell him twice to get anything done. Whereas Tess, our female, and you'll see her in a little while now, she's just so keen to work. She just jumps through the bars of the gate and is standing waiting for that first command, so attentive, ready to get the job done. Again, for me, I find it's my natural ability to assess my guests' reactions as this immersive experience flows. I have a main structure for this experience, but I tailor and tweak it as I go along, forging new connections and paying attention to what my visitors are enjoying most. It is through this interaction of conversation and what I crack that visitors get a chance to connect with me and my stories, revealing new perspectives and I suppose understandings about who we are as locals. Together we slow down the pace, help them feel part of something traditional and special. And when the sheepdogs are running in different directions and we're having a laugh, they can quietly think to themselves, do you know what, this is Ireland, this is what I imagined it like, and so much more, giving them a sense of, like, a rooted feeling, if you like, a sense of belonging. The second part of this experience, if they choose to book it, lasts 1 more hour, and it's called Sharing the Wool. This takes them across to my other barns, where they get a chance to see more breeds of sheep, rare breeds of sheep, hold baby lambs, witness a shearing demonstration, see the sheep up close. I honestly feel that I have unveiled a genuine immersive experience available to anyone in the world of any culture or any age, whether it's one person or 60 people with their newly built facilities. Weather is a minor issue. Guests can always watch on in comfort. Even if the group can't understand our language very well, I can tailor my experience to have a high visual impact and appeal, where the sheepdogs are working a lot, listening to my whistles and body language. I've worked hard to incorporate as many opportunities as possible for guests to get involved with the fun, but some actually laugh harder when they see someone else having a go, and that's what it's all about, trying to create a bit of laughter and some good memories. This includes petting the sheepdogs, petting the sheep, opening and closing gates, weighing lambs, catching and holding young lambs, rolling a fleece, cutting through wool with shears, anything that can be tangible, anything that can create that moment that positively embeds in their memories. And all the experiences that we offer on the farm here is available all year round, every day, due to the tweaks and managements of our family farm. I suppose I've opened the gates of my family farm to the world. This is not a circus act, nor is it a polished performance, but just a chance for visitors to see what's done on a day-to-day basis on a hill sheep farm. And I hope when they leave, they'll have their own memories with me. And again, they have their own stories to tell and retell to their family and friends back home. I am so pleased to share with you that after a few years of planning and building, this summer has seen us open our brand new Country Barn Visitor Centre. And we now can share our fleece to fashion story, where you've saw the fleece coming off the sheep. Next door, you step through the doorway and we've got a timeline where we can show how the fleece was developed from that raw fleece right through to a garment years gone by. We also have an intro to Irish dance experience, just to express that it wasn't all about work. There was fun, there was music, there was dancing, and we really want to try and show that bit of heritage and culture as well, and show the fun and get visitors to join in the fun. Also, if they want to stay longer at the farm, we have our seating capacity here for 62 people, which can be extended to more if necessary. And that's where we have our home-baked breads, our home-baked tray bakes, and our tea coffees, everything made on site. We genuinely believe that this new addition, this 3,000 square foot space, captivates true Irish charm and warmth, as the visitors can enjoy our panoramic views and join in the fun with their new experiences, all in this one special area. So that's Glenshane Country Farm. The ethos of our business is to create a warm welcome and help create quality lasting memories. That's our brand, that's what we represent, and that's what we hope people see. There is a brochure that Mickey Travel and Tourism Ireland can organise for you that you can download. This brochure gives excellent clarity to exactly what we offer here, the experiences that we have to offer, how long they last, what they entail, and the rates. So it just keeps everything very, very organised that you can fit us into an itinerary as and when that suits your timing. So I actually have Tess outside at the moment because we're in our visitor centre, and I know she's excited to show you some of what she does. So just when we're in here, firstly, I'll take you on a quick tour or walk off our new visitor centre. And again, this is where the people are welcomed. We have our section at the lower end of the building for our Irish dance, for our Fleece to Fashion, where visitors get a chance also to use spinning wheels. We have our fire lit for our fireside lunch, again creating that warmth as they're standing in the building looking right out across the country. We have our toilets and our gift shop, our merchandise shop, just give visitors a little chance to take something, a little piece of the farm home with them if you like. As always, as part of our farm, we're very keen to welcome everyone to the farm. And that's illustrated in the doorway as you step through. So this is the viewpoint where we can see Lough Neagh and Slemish and Belfast and the Mourne mountain range. And I can see Tess is starting to roll over here. She's so keen to get to show you what she does here. This is her shelter that her visitors can arrive to first of all. Come on, Tess. Walk up, walk up. Walk up. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Stay there. Walking. Walking. Good girl. So this is Tess. And we're going to ask Tess to give us a hand to bring the sheep over a little bit closer to us. So the first thing we'll do is we'll ask her to get into the field. Tess, get in. Get in. Good girl. So Tess is in the field. And we can see the sheep over here in the distance. So Iris, would you mind give me some help? We're going to send Tess off either anti-clockwise or clockwise. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to tell Tess whatever you say. Tess is going to tell the sheep, and if it all goes wrong, it's your fault in China. So you can tell me what direction you want me to send her.
I'd love to. How about say clockwise?
Clockwise, brilliant. So if we want Tess to go clockwise, if I say grass, sky, that means nothing to her. But as soon as I give her the command, come by. Come by. Tess is running. Come by. Good girl, Tess. So Tess is running out. So just ask her to walk in now. Lie down. Lie down. Good girl. Good girl. Walk in. Walk in. Walk in. Lie down. Come by. Come by. Come by. Lie down. So she'll bring the sheep right up to the visitors so they can reach over and actually pet them if they want. She'll bring them right up to the fence. And again, whenever the work's finished, that'll do, Tess. That'll do. That'll do. Get out. Get out, Tess. Get out. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Well done. Good girl. Tess just absolutely loves her job. So again, thanks very much for
listen to what we share here at Glensheen Country Farm. And thanks, Irish. You got it right. You done a good job. We're all on the one side now. So thank you. Take care.
Thank you, James Z. That's fantastic. We really enjoy the demonstration. Good go, Tess. 那么开场呢，我也给大家翻译一下啊，就是James Z 呢，他也是给我们用爱尔兰语进行了问候。他是这个农场主的第4代牧羊人，就是他的太爷爷开始经营这个农场。那么他这个体验主要其实也是向大家展示在大自然中人与人、人与动物和谐相处，也希望客人来到这里以后呢，能够收获美好的回忆带回家跟朋友和家人分享。那这个格伦谢恩农场，它的地理位置是位于北爱尔兰斯佩林的山脚下，距离巨人堤55分钟车程，贝尔法斯特机场50分钟车程，都柏林机场大概是2小时左右。那它的几个核心体验，第一个就是，客人来到这里可以去近距离的观看牧羊犬它是如何工作的。我们刚才也看到，客人在田野里面，通过 James Z 通过口哨、口令以及一些手势来指挥这些训练有素的牧羊犬来放牧羊群。那么就像刚才 James Z 和 Tess 给我们展示的，他很聪明，听了他的口令，他会走，会躺下，会跳出那个栅栏。然后刚才我也是给了一个顺时针这样的一个口令，然后 James Z 就通过他的语言来告诉 Tess 应该通过顺时针的方向来把羊群驱赶到一个指定的位置。所以这是一个非常互动性的一个体验，客人也都非常的喜欢。那在观看之余呢，还可以欣赏周边美丽的自然风光，在休息区喝茶、品尝烤饼。另外一个体验就是我们的剪羊毛。那么虽然时代发展的非常快，但是有一些传统的技艺依然在延续。在特定的这个剪羊毛的棚子里面，客人 James Z 将向客人展示一些稀有品种的羊咩咩，然后熟练的用这些传统手艺来剪羊毛。如果客人愿意，他们也可以自己动手试一试，甚至可以抱一抱可爱的小羊羔。那么所有这些体验呢，都是全年无休，全年都可以预定。同时他也提到了，其实语言并不是问题，在这样一个互动的氛围中，一些肢体语言都可以让客人感到非常的沉入其中。那么今天他给我们做直播的地方，实际上是今年新开放的一个游客中心，也是刚刚建成。在这里呢，客人可以品尝茶啊、咖啡啊，可以品尝一些家庭烘焙的面包、生皮，同时也可以有爱尔兰的歌舞表演，大家一起载歌载舞。那么正如 James 所说的，希望在格伦谢恩农场，客人可以收获美好的回忆。以上呢就是我们今天爱尔兰旅游服务供应商的介绍。That's all of presentations from our Irish industry partners. Thanks again for your excellent introduction and demonstration. We look forward to working closely with you and welcoming more visitors to Ireland. 那么接下来我的环节，我会给大家分享一些爱尔兰旅游局的工具和资源库，也是希望对您的爱尔兰线路的设计也好，或者是产品的宣传也好有所帮助。Thank you, Anne. 那么在画面中，我们看到左方的这个左边的这个 Content Pool， 它实际上是我们爱尔兰旅游局的图库。当你注册以后，你会发现里面有成千上万的图片，包括有很多的视频，你都可以下载来使用。它有适合不同场合印刷用的高清度和这个网络使用的。只要你在使用时注明来源是爱尔兰旅游局。右面我们看到的 trip.ireland.com 是我们的 B2B 网站，上面也是有非常多关于爱尔兰岛的旅行资讯和灵感，能够帮助你来设计行程。Next slide, please. 那么今年针对中文市场呢，我们也是新推出了爱尔兰旅游专家，大家扫码就可以利用碎片的时间来学习爱尔兰的目的地的10个章节的课程。这里面覆盖了包括爱尔兰岛的一些实用的旅行贴士，各个地区的旅行体验，包括一些主题游，比如说可持续旅游、奢华旅游、大荧幕之旅等等。当你完成了10个章节的学习，并通过测试呢，你将获得爱尔兰旅游局所颁发的这个电子版的翡翠岛之星证书，表明你是一个非常合格的爱尔兰旅游专家。同时也是跟大家分享这个小程序现在学习呢是有非常多的礼品可以跟大家互动。Next one, please. 那么最后呢，也是欢迎大家有什么问询或者是关于爱尔兰的资讯想要了解的话，都可以联系我和我的同事。中国市场的话，可以直接联系我。那么在中国以外的市场，也可以联系我们的 Tori 和 Steven。最后也是感谢大家。 非常抱歉，在开场的时候我的 PPT 它不能够很好的显示，但是今天所有的环节这些材料我们都会在后续跟大家来分享，也是再次感谢 Miki 团队的一个大力支持。我也是把时间交回给主持人 Gary， 谢谢。
On mute, Gary.
谢谢 Iris 和刚才5位景区代表的精彩演讲。好 ，Miki 推介的特色行程呢，会由我们的团队发给大家。如果你对行程有任何的需求，或者是想得到更多的消息，欢迎你们联络我们的销售团队。好了，这一次的研讨会就告一段落了，非常谢谢大家的参与，也感谢 Iris 和爱尔兰旅游局，还有Kieran，John、Fiona、Hani，还有 Gillian， 还有Jamesy， 谢谢，拜拜。
Here we are on the edge of mystery. We long for a life of new discovery. Focus our eyes on the journey, stepping into the unknown, waving goodbye to our worry, and we're ready to go. We're here we go, dive into the great unknown. Have stories waiting to be told. The earth is bursting with color, our hearts are open wide. The stars glow in wonder, we are so alive. We're not ever slowing down. We're chasing down the dreams we found over the rivers and mountains, deep in the heart of the sea. We know adventure is calling, so we run wild and free. Wild and free. Focus our eyes on the journey, stepping into the unknown, waving goodbye to our worry, so we run wild and free. We're not ever slowing down.
Traditional Irish music is an oral tradition. It's a thriving tradition. Some of the selections we play are hundreds and thousands or more years old. You can go anywhere in Ireland and find a session. It's spread throughout the land. To Depending on the musicians there, they might be influenced by regional styles. You might have a variety between music, singing and dancing, and the Shannon singing, which is in the Irish language. There's a variety of instruments that are played in traditional music. It could be fiddle, accordion, banjo, uilleann pipes, concertina. Music has passed through people's minds, hands and hearts for generations. And I think some people who come into a session, whether they know it or not, on some level they're feeling this. It uplifts them. There's something powerful in that.